In 5 hours of talks during the first face-to-face meeting since October between Anthony Blinken and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang, Blinken said he expressed deep concern about Beijing's stance on Russia's actions in Ukraine. The talks were organized as a new attempt to curb, or at least deal with, the hostility that has become a feature of recent relations between Washington and Beijing. "We are concerned about China's rapprochement with Russia," Blinken told reporters after the meeting in the Indonesian resort of Bali. He said it is difficult to be neutral in a conflict in which there is a clear aggressor. The Biden administration had hoped that China, with its long history of opposition to what it considers meddling in its internal affairs, would take a similar stance toward Russia and Ukraine. But U.S. officials showed cautious optimism about China's position on Ukraine, condemning its rhetorical support for Russia but seeing no indication that Beijing is backing its words with material support for the aggressor. As one official familiar with the talks described it, what was striking is how measured and kind of restrained China was when it came to Ukraine. The official said anonymously that Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi did not inform U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken of any full endorsement or any signal that China and Russia had made some kind of pact. Blinken said he believed that Russia stay isolated and alone from the meeting of rich and large developing countries because most participants had expressed disagreement with the war in Ukraine. However, the ministers could not reach a unified G20 call for an end to the conflict. There was a strong consensus, and Russia remained isolated, Blinken said of separate condemnations of Russia's actions by various ministers, some of whom avoided talking to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. He noted that Lavrov left the meeting early, perhaps because he didn't like what he heard from his colleagues. It was very important that he heard loud and clear from around the world condemnation of Russian aggression, Blinken said. "We don't see any indication that Russia is willing to engage in diplomacy at this point." As for China, Blinken said he and Wang discussed a range of contentious issues, from tariffs and trade and human rights to Taiwan and disputes in the South China Sea, which was complicated by the Chinese position on Ukraine.